Hello, this is CJ here at Nine Finger Gaming. Welcome back to Foundry. This is episode 5. In the last episode, we'd gone and set up our production of the steel beams. Now, at the moment, obviously we're having power issues just at the end of the last episode. At the moment, the power is fine, but that's because all the other systems are backed up. Therefore, most of these systems aren't currently running. It looks like those two are, though. Oh, they are providing two over here, yeah, so they will be running. And you can see the ones that are kicked in. That one's actually just stopped. Those are still running there as well because I've just been pinching some steel beams to get crafted what we're going to need for today. So we are going to need to improve our power usage because as soon as we start to go through the research, it is going to kick in most of the systems as it starts to use the other science packs. Right, the first thing I did today then, I put in this elevator just so I could get it dig down to our ignium level. That level is 89, and I set this one to 89 as well. So this really is just for when I am digging down to get to certain resources. I do actually need some space. Yeah, that's plenty of space. We're going to have to demolish this. Right, and what we're going to need to do is we're going to be placing a freight elevator in here. Where are my freight elevators? Right there. I'm going to place that there. We need to swap that one. That needs to be a top. I'm going to try that one again. So we got a top. I'm going to place that there, and then we're going to need the flooring just to fill in that space. Right, so let's go head down to the ignium deposit. We need to open out some of these spaces. And we're going to have to do this with our explosives. And we're going to head in that direction with the mines. So we keep it away from our other facility. So let's start by blasting out a section of this. We're going to need to open it out all the way around. I hope that one's not too close. Can I get that on that back wall? We'll blast all of them all in one. That's good to know. Right, so still need to open up this side. Just hoping I don't catch those foundations. Yeah, we didn't get them. That's great. Yeah, so we're going to have to open this out so we can get some trains down here. So we get some miners ready. And we're also going to have to open it out so we can so we can place down some crushers as well before we send the items back up. We're going to need a freight elevator bottom. Oh, if I can get back up on here. Change that to the bottom. I'm going to place that there, which now should connect. There we go. I wish this did dig its hole. I'm not a massive fan that I have to dig out a massive hole using an elevator. But hey ho, it works. It just says that we've got this gigantic hole now going back to the surface. So we're going to need space for 2 of these, but we're also going to need space for another 3 crushers. Now I worked out what the usage is going to be for the generators, and from what I gather they use around 20 ignium ore per minute. Obviously with the crushers we know for a while we get out 40 per minute. Oh, no power down here, we'll sort that in just a second, but we know we get 40 per minute on that. So what we will have to do is set up 2 miners again, which will give us 40 per minute in each one. We'll get 120 per minute out of that, which will give us the ability to do 6 machines at 20 per minute. And 6 machines, they generate 7.5 kilowatts each, so we're going to get like around over 42,000 megawatts. Over 42 megawatts of energy as generation. So that is going to be more than enough energy for us to move forward. It's probably going to make our solar farm redundant, so that we may have that room to open up eventually. Remove all those. We're still going to keep the batteries and solar just for now. We'll probably move it somewhere, even if it is redundant. We'll still keep it like a backup power generation. Right, so I'm going to have to go through now and open up a load of this cave, so we can get looking to place down the miners and make sure we've got enough space for the crushers as well. So I'm just going to keep opening this up using these bombs, and I'll bring you back once I've got the space all open, laid out with the flooring intact as well. I'm not going to put flooring down everywhere because I'm actually still going to come down here and dig out some of this as and when I need to make some explosives. So I'll be back in just a moment. Right, I think we've got enough space down here now, so let's get our train stations. I believe that's what they're called. Just double check what they're called. The rail mining depot. So let's get our depots up. We're going to want 2 of those again. Just need enough space to split the cables. And yeah, that's the direction that we do want to go in. We may have to open it up just a touch. The easiest way we can find that out is, can we place 2 rails? 1, 2, and 1, 2. Yeah, we can place the rails. So brilliant. We don't have to. Ooh, I'm actually going to have to split them up by 1 because we can't reach the screen on the other. And you know something? That might actually be a problem with the previous one as well. I suppose once we've got the filtered loaders, we can load rails into them via the loaders. We'll just move this one for now. Let's get this one set. No grid connection. Oh yeah, we have to get power. Let's bring you over here. Connect you up there. And what can I do there? Let's get 20 rails in and a rail cart. We may as well launch it now because we're not going to be able to reach the button in just a second. And then we'll get the other one in and do the same on this one. Fire it up. And we'll manage inventory. Sort that so we can get 20 in there. You can only put a stack of 20 in, so that'll have to do for now. And then we are going to want to join and split the rails. Oh, we're not actually going to have enough space here, are we? So we're going to have those to come off. So they'd be outputs. And then they need to both go into one of those. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have the room required here. Let me have a juggle around, see what I can do. I may have to open it out just a touch more in that direction, just to give us the space we require. May even be able to open up this area, like fill in this with some flooring to allow us to use this space here. But yeah, I'm just going to go away. I'm going to get the bolts sorted so we get it split between the 3. I'll probably get this part back up and then I'll meet you all on the surface and we'll go through getting the resources out to the generators. So I'll be back with you in just a moment. Right, as you can see then, I've completed all of this down here. I've got it all nice and situated in, got all the belts in, spread these out a bit as well so we can actually reach the screens. Probably going to have to do that in that other one. Now I'm aware that I won't be able to reach the screen should I ever need to get anything out of it. If we go up top, now I had gone up there, totally just carried on gaming and went ahead and put down the generators. So just get up there, I'll show you that now. Right, so we'll come up here, we've got 6 generators. That should be using all of the 120 that's being produced down below. Now the good thing about these is they don't actually use all of the ore that's being produced. They'll only output the power required. So rather than them max outputting at 7.5 megawatts, they'll actually run a lot lower, roughly equal to each other, just enough to power what the machines that we have around the base area. Now I've gone and laid out a massive flat patch over here for what we're going to be building soon, and this is going to be where the final research station is. So this will be research station 4. What we want to do then for the rest of this episode, I actually want to go through and redo all of this area here, which means I'm going to have to move everything up for the research stations. We're going to have to strip all this back out, because what I want to do, I want to make a more efficient way of producing the base materials, the rods and the plates. Now if we go over to the induction smelter and get the regular smelter out, what we can do with this is we can take our basic ores, so the xenoferrite ore, the 80 per minute, and we can turn that into xenoferrite ingots at 40 per minute. Then with that 40 per minute of the ingots, we can then turn that into 80 plates per minute. So what that will do is double the amount of production that we're getting on these, obviously at the cost of power. As you can see, this is 80 and we get 40. These will also be 80 going in, 40 ingots coming out, 40 ingots going in, and 80 rods coming out. So we'll literally double what we're actually getting here. And I believe at the moment we're getting between 8 machines, the 320 line, but what we will get once we've changed this round is we will get 2 full belts of 120. Obviously we're going to put some of that over here, get these research stations all sorted, and we may go through and just change out all of these for the upgraded assemblers. As you can see, they do have different inputs and outputs. So just looking at the building blocks, instead of a 7236, it then becomes a 10854. But we'll go through that in just a second. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this storage moved right up to here. I'm going to have to belt out the items from one to the other. In fact, I wouldn't even need to do that, but I could just place one down like so. Check my inventory. I've got plenty of inventory space. Let's disconnect this rail. Oh, we're going to have to disconnect it to here for a second while I take these off. And then if I come into this here, take all of those, and we're going to place them all in here for now. We're going to get rid of that. So yeah, I'm going to have to strip everything back. Probably going to have to take this one out completely. Now, it's going to take me some time. I really would like to swap this one with this one, so we have them in order of 1, 2, 3 and 4, which will be on the end just there, but I don't think I really want to be taking out all of this work that we put in right here. So just going to have to face facts and leave that as is. It'll just be a case of moving this device up, so we've got room for the induction smelters and the regular smelters. So we're going to have to take all this cabling out, probably cut it back to somewhere around here maybe, to give us the space that we require. So I'm going to go away, I'm going to move all of these out of the way, take out all of this infrastructure. I'll leave the cables in for now. We'll see if we can work around that, and I'll bring you back in once we get to placing everything down. So I'll see you all in just a moment. Right, so cleared out the area, brought all the belts back. Obviously we're going to have to reconnect these up at some point. So the first thing we're going to need to place down and now is our induction smelters, and obviously these are a lot smaller, so we're probably going to be able to switch up the way we inserted on them last time. So probably going to keep them all this direction, or we'll have to swap a couple around just because they're a bit closer. We've got a lot of gap here. Let's place that there, that one there, that one there, that one there. Repeating the process. We want that one the same way. That one there. There. And then we'll just have to go through and set these. So this half is all going to be technum ingots. Technum ingots. And then this half, I believe, it's still the technum. So these are going to have to be technum as well. Where is this? There it is. Technum. 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 And the final one, the technum. There we go. And then these will all be the xenoferrite. So let's just get those all done. And then we're going to have to place up the smelters, which means I am going to have to move these. We'll put some torches back in eventually. I'm thinking of moving this cable as well, so let's bring it over this way. That's too far. That's the furthest I can go, and then to there. If we bring it out across this way, and then connect it up to there, that should then allow us to remove these ones altogether, and these ones, and that'll free up this space that we've got here. Right, so next on the list is the actual smelters. So probably going to leave a 3-block gap, since they're just going to be pumping from one to the other. So it'll be one there. Oh, this is actually going to be... that will be there. Let's have a way of position these. So we had a gap in one of them. Yeah, because that wouldn't be the same. This overhang slightly. No. Let's swap that one around then for now. So these were the centre ones. So we'll start on the centre. We'll leave these in the middle. So this way around. 3 blocks, yep. Oh, that's the wrong one. Getting the correct ones, so it'll be 3 out there and there. Yeah, but that doesn't work. How did I have these settings? I see the way that is. Right, so let's get back around here. We're going to have to take these out. This one did go here. Is that the 3 blocks? Yeah. Then there was the space here. This one was here, and then this one was here, and then we just continued to back them onto one another. That one will go there, and then these were the rods, but now let's just get these ones all sorted. So this will be the xenoferrite plates from the ingots. Plates, 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 and plates. Starting to wonder where we actually had the gap now. Was them two butting up to one another? No, yeah, because I can remember these two being back to back, so yeah, I think that is the right order. Obviously we're going to have this one connect to this one. This one will connect to this one. This one here will connect to this one. We'll have this one here. Let's get some inputs. Input. There. There. And then we want outputs for along this point here. So let's get all these in. What we technically done now, we've doubled the output that we're going to get from these machines. So each one of these now is going to give us 80 instead of 40. Going to repeat the process here for the rods, and then we'll go about getting all this cabled back in. Obviously, we're going to be able to split these down a bit more efficiently. It's going to leave us a lot of spare. So now for every 1, 2, 3, 4, that will then now give us a full belt of 320, which I believe the Mark II belts, that is their max output. So we may have a complete spare rail that we can take down this way for later use, possibly if we get these Science Pack 3s underway. So I'm just going to go put the rod ones in, and then we'll take it from there, getting all this packed back together. So I'll see you in just a moment. Right, here we are then. So we've just got to pipe everything back up. Now, this device here required 40 per minute on the plates, and this also required 40 per minute on the plates here as well, which now means that from this one here, we can split it once, and then we will split it right here again, but this one will come off this direction. So basically that's going to be a 40 line. Oh, in fact, we don't need to do that. We can just get it split into two. One can provide for this one onto this belt here, and then one can be fed into this machine right here. Can we make this a little smaller? Yes, we probably can. So let's get that out of there. I'm going to try and keep it as compact as possible. So we want an output there, get that there. Let's take this back as well, a couple. So I'm going to want an input there, and that will be the input for this one, and we've got an output there. So I'm also going to want an output of this belt here. Get that split over to there. and we're going to want to drag that from here. So that's now getting a 40 production there. This one needs to go to there and then straight into this machine here. So they are now getting their 40. Now if we look here, this one was the odd one that needed, we worked out just round it up to 80, so 80 per minute on the plates and 40 per minute on the lines, the rods. So straight away then what we can do here is just take a straight output. This is now providing 80 per minute, so we haven't got to join two together. We can simply take this one, put in 90 degree in there and get that turned straight onto there, so that's now getting its 90 input. Now we'll worry about the rods in just a second. Want to make sure that we get everything coming out from here correctly. Yeah, because we don't want to be going up and over anything if we can. So yeah, let's see what we've got here. So that's rods. These require plates, and this requires plates at a rate of 40 per minute. So this is another 40 per minute rail. So we'll take a splitter again. We'll get an output, get that out of there, take this right out to here and all the way across to join up to there. So that's a 40. And what do we need for this one here? So that is another 40 as well. So what we could do then to save space, remove that, put the line straight into there, and then instead of having this, we'll just have a splitter right there. So that's now getting 40 per minute per side there. Right, the next load of plates, I think is everything that we had pumping into this one. So we've got 40 per minute required there and 80 per minute required there. Let's have a look at what else we've got. That's rods and that's rods as well. So really we should try and get this so we're having the 80 come straight into here. In fact, I'm probably going to move this, so I'm just going to hold off before I do wire that up. If I do cable this one up, it's not going to be a permanent position, so it's not going to matter what it looks like, so I'm just going to leave that for just a second. But the most important is the research for now, so we'll start to pipe that in. So there's no others that require rods around here. The first one to require rods is this device here, and we've said this requires them at 40 per minute. So let's just take out a few of those because we are going to have to go up and over for this one. And the next one is this one. And these are taking the rods. I think getting into this one and this one. So that is 16 per minute and 16 per minute, so I'm guessing we just rounded that off at 20 per minute going into that side, which I'm guessing means we have another one here of 20. So that would be a 40 that's split between the two, and this one is just a straight 40 on its own. Yeah, so this is going to be a nice easy one to fix as well. Now I will take a trick out that we may end up with further belts coming out of some of these. So if I just place these on so I can work out roughly where all of these are going to output from. Is this the, yeah, still plates. This is the first one for the rods. No, it's still plates also. And this is the last one for plates, I believe. Then these are the rods. Yeah. So we're going to have 80 output from this machine right here. And we've got 3 spaces left, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, So we've still got 6 with plates. Now I can combine the 4 over here onto one rail, with it being a 320 rail. So we could do that if we need to bring them out. So yeah, let's just work with this for now. I'll have to work out something else, a bit of cheese all over the place, should we need to, for the other bolts. So we're going to want this to split off into 2, and up. We're going to take both of those up, and I'm probably going to just keep this above this rail right here, which it will then turn 90 degrees there. Oh, wrong one, just 1, 2, 4. So it will turn 90 degrees there, where we'll have it slope down and connect up onto there. So that's now getting 40, and then this other 40 will come across to, in fact we'll just come 1 going in that direction. Let's remove those. In fact I'm going to remove that. We're going to place, trust it be awkward, let's just place that there for now, place that there so we can remove that. And then for this one, we'll simply come down, turn a 90 and turn a 90. This one will then come across this way to here. And we can take all this out of there. We've just taken one too many. Oh, I didn't even take the right one. Keep that there. Keep that one there. We'll come down and then straight into there. So that's now been split, so they should be getting the 20 per minute when everything's running. Right, now for these, I do want to get them moved. I want them right over this way, because we will eventually want to start some kind of mall where you'll have items fed in. It'll be an overflow belt, so it'll just be a full belt that will feed into storages, that feeds into machines, that then goes through each individual process. So like we go from the Mark 1 belts to the Mark 2 belts, and so on and so on. And we'll just keep using the distributors to keep the belts topped up. So if the belts start looking like, if we spread off and the belt starts looking shy, what we'd do is we'd have another full belt feeding in across to here to refill this belt here, so it'll just work off a complete overflow system. Now, that will be something that we will have to do in the next episode, because I believe that is going to do for today's episode. If you have liked today's episode, then always remember, feel free to leave a like. And if you haven't already, always feel free to subscribe. Thank you.